First story. My narcissistic mom bashed my head, smashed my PC, and revoked my college application after refusing to let her and her golden child lash at my money and food. So I ran away from home and got her arrested after she destroyed my car. For a little background info, I'm a 17-year-old girl who is balancing 2 jobs in her senior year, while my 24-year-old brother has no job and lives upstairs in our attic with his girlfriend, who also has no job. They'll sometimes go deliver food, but they spend all of that money on alcohol. My mother pays all the bills and sometimes buys groceries, but that gets a little hard with all my senior fees she pays, plus I go to a private school, so that's more money. Ever since I got my job, I started to buy myself and my mother food, so we could have something to eat for the week. I started noticing my brother coming down into the kitchen multiple times a day, and the food would be gone that night. If I bought food on Monday, all of it would be gone by Wednesday morning. We began hiding the good food, but eventually he'd find it and eat it. I even wrote my name and do not eat on stuff, but that didn't stop him either. Once he ate all the food, that was it until the next week, when I'd get paid, and we'd only have bread, pasta, and cheese to eat for that week. About a month ago, I went to the doctor and found out I had lost a substantial amount of weight in 3 months, and I decided to put my foot down since my mother never would. Every time he'd eat anything, I texted him a fee for the food. I'd keep nagging him, and he'd eventually pay me back. Well, about 2 days ago, I bought a case of Ensure, which is a weight gain protein drink, and nobody else in my house would have any reason for drinking it. The next day, when I woke up, the whole pack of 6 was gone. The empty case was left in the fridge. I exploded and called him and his girlfriend losers, who needed to get TF out. I let 3 years of anger out and lost it. I told them they both owed me over $1,000 worth of food for these past years, and I left before he could respond. While at school, my mom and grandparents kept texting me about how I was out of line and how family doesn't treat each other like this, but I couldn't find it in myself to care. I asked my friends what they thought, and there were mixed opinions, but the majority said I was out of line and should have let my mother handle it. So AITA. Verdict. Not the arsehole. Update. My mom is mad that I decided to leave for college earlier than necessary. Sorry. I'm typing on my phone because my mom has broken my computer. For some background info, I had posted on AITA before about how my older brother would constantly eat everything in the house and not contribute anything to the family. He's 23. We would then be left with bread, water, and pasta, while he and his girlfriend would constantly go out for food, while also paying no bills and leaving everything on my mom. I have a gluten problem, so I can't eat bread or pasta, and I'd essentially be left starving. Once I did get a job, I'd buy things I'd be able to eat gluten-free products, and he's still eaten everything up in 2 days. And for the next week, I was left to starve again. It got to the point where I had lost so much weight that my doctor was concerned. He recommended I start to drink some protein shakes and get a more balanced diet. I had bought a few cases of insurance, and when I went to get them the next day, they were all gone. So I immediately purchased a mini fridge and installed a lock on my door. This was fine for about 3 months until I came home. My door was removed, and my mother berated me and basically yelled at me for holding out on them. Anyway, to sum that part up, for the next few months, nothing changed. But I was able to eat a little more, and I'm up to a healthy weight. I also got a full ride to my top college, and they invited me to their honors college and a summer program that will give me college credits, and they'll also fly me out to them. All I'd have to pay for were my dorm supplies and clothes if I wanted any new ones. When I told my mom about it, she immediately said no to the program and to college because I'd be leaving her, and she needs me because I'm her rock, and I can't just leave her with my brother. Like, okay? Then kick him out and live by yourself. This is the same man she protected and kept taking his side during arguments. Everyone in my family has cut him off but her. After like 3 arguments about the program, I enrolled anyways because my grandparents gave me money to pay for my enrollment and board fee, which was like $500. But since I'm 17, they emailed her to confirm if I could go. Luckily, she was cooking, so I just ran into her room, accepted it myself, and deleted the email. Well, the program starts on June 11th, and the whole week before that, I was packing and slowly hiding things in my grandparents' house until it was time for me to leave. I don't know how, but my mom found out and called the college to say she never signed the slip, and that I would not be enrolled, keeping me from going to college. She then broke my computer, saying that I wouldn't need it since I wouldn't be going to college anyway. I had called the college, and there was nothing I could really do since I was a minor at the time. But 2 weeks ago, I turned 18 and explained my situation to the college, and they let me continue the program, but said I'd have to pay for the flight down here myself. After that, I called my grandma and had her come get me and the rest of my things. My mom was pissed. She was screaming, crying, and yelling, asking me how I could just abandon her with my brother after all she'd done for me. I still have the knot on my head from her tackling me and making me bang my head against our concrete stairs. My grandparents asked me if I wanted to press charges, but honestly, I just want to be away from her. She keeps texting me after what happened and says she's going to sue me for emotional damage. But that's not likely since she can't even afford to feed her family. I'm living with my grandparents now, and I've never been more fed. I think I'll get all my strength back before I leave my grandparents' house. This is honestly crazy for me because she's never acted like this. This past year, she's been on a downward spiral. TLDR. Mom bashes my face into the ground and says she's going to sue me for emotional damage. Update 1. This most likely won't be the last update, but I wanted to tell you guys what happened and answer a few questions I was sent and things I saw. First, I wanted to thank everyone for the nice comments. Honestly, after the year I had, I definitely needed to hear things to confirm I wasn't crazy. I also wanted to thank you guys for pointing out the abuse I was going through. I guess I had convinced myself that the things happening weren't severe enough to be considered abuse. The things you guys said made me really think of everything that has happened in my childhood, and she was truly an abusive woman. One memory I can think of off the top of my head is when I was 5 and my brother was 10. She kept a suitcase packed, and whenever my brother and I upset her, she'd leave for hours on end, saying she was tired of us and leaving us. In all honesty, before this post, I just considered that a punishment. I also wanted to address a few comments and messages I saw. A few people spoke about me not fighting back, but imagine having a 300+ pound woman on your back. I was terrified that if I'd moved, she would most likely break me in half. Even if I did fight back, I'm 100% sure she'd body me in 5 seconds with superhuman strength. I also got comments about the doctor and why he didn't alert CPS. I'm pretty sure he thought it was likely I had an ED rather than being starved. The doctor I was attending was a family doctor, so he's been in the family for a while. My weight wasn't so drastically underweight that it was dangerous. It was more so when I dropped from 140 to 100 pounds in a short amount of time that he was concerned. I also saw a comment on TikTok about me being spineless for not pressing charges. You go get your arse beat by somebody twice your size and see if you want to see them again. I saw some comments about financial aid and other things, but I don't need anything like that. My grandfather has his own business, and my grandma works for him, so they have more than enough money. My dad is also an accountant, so he also has enough money. Anyway, for a sort of update, I read all your comments and took all your advice. So I told my grandparents exactly what happened while we were on a FaceTime call with my dad who lives in the state of my college. My grandfather immediately told me we were going to press charges, and my dad also advised me to get checked out by a doctor for any head injuries. So we made a report with the police, and we are waiting to hear back from them, I guess. I'm not that good with legal stuff. We also went to the doctor, and they said everything seemed to be fine. But they did tell my grandparents to monitor me, and, if anything happens, to come back immediately. So I guess time will tell. I have no contact with my mom, and I've officially gone no contact with my brother, which really stinks because me and my brother were very close for such a long time until a year ago, when his new girlfriend moved in. In all honesty, I saw him as my hero, and it really hurts to see people change in an instant. Maybe I'm still in shock over the situation, but I have real emotions about what's happening. I'm not really sad about anything, but I'm also a little glad this did happen, because it truly showed me all those who cared for me. Also, once my dad heard about the computer, he sent me money to get a new one. I'm really happy about that, but I also want my mom to cough up the money for the other one. Maybe I'll go on a little shopping spree with it as reparations for giving me an ugly knot on my head. Also, now that I think more about it, my brother and mom are really effing fat for us to not have enough money for food. It seems like I wasn't the only one holding out. Thanks for all the advice, and for everyone giving me tough love, and making me open my eyes to the abuse. I really appreciate all of you guys, and I hope all goes well in your life. You guys truly are good people. Update 2. Okay, guys, another update. I didn't think I would be making so soon. First things first, I started seeing a therapist, and it's going very well. Everything for my college is finalized, and I'm very happy. I've also made a lot of friends who'll be going there through social media, so I'm excited to meet them. In the other parts, I won't be attending the summer program because, for the past few days, I've been having fainting spells, and the doctors don't know what's causing them. They say it could be due to the head injury, but it could be other factors as well. So I'll have to stay for the summer for further testing. I'm upset that I won't be moving in when I wanted to, but I'm happy I get to spend more time with my grandparents. On to other news. My mom was recently arrested, but not for the reason you may be thinking. So since I've had fainting spells, I haven't been driving because it's dangerous. Duh. I think 2 days ago I went to get my protein water bottle out of my car when I saw my tires were completely slashed. All 4 tires were cut and stabbed deep. My windows and door handles were also covered in SHT, like real nasty brown SHT. As a teen girl, I won't portray myself as some kind of saint and act like I've never been in drama. I immediately assumed it was someone from my high school or something, which was also weird because I haven't really argued with anyone recently. I woke my grandparents up, and we went to the neighbor's house to get footage, and as you can guess where this is going. My mother was seen on footage driving past the house a few times before getting out of her car and ruining my car. Honestly, I'm not even mad about my car anymore. I just want to know where the hell she even got SHT from. Like in the video, it looked like she was using a diaper, and as far as I know, none of my relatives have young babies. So whose SHTTY diapers did she take? Like, is it easy to obtain a SHTTY pamper? Why would she even want to hold SHTTY pampers? I genuinely just want to ask her where she ever got SHTTY diapers from. I stay up at night thinking about this because I'm genuinely so confused about how she got SHTTY diapers. Anyways, the cops arrested her pretty quickly for damaging property and trespassing, and she's waiting for someone to bail her out. Also, my brother had come across the post and texted me about him never drinking my Ensures and my mom having the packs of them in her closet. He apologized again, but I honestly could not care less at the moment. This whole situation is harming my inner peace, and I cannot focus on it anymore. The thought of them being in the same state as me already messes with my energy. Even if he didn't drink the Ensures, and she stole them for fun, I don't care anymore. I've started using protein powder, and it tastes way better anyway. My new MacBook has arrived, and it's so much better than my last one. I think this'll be my last update for a while. To all the people who wanted me to update in a few months, I will. You have all been such a help, and when I'm thriving in college, I'll be sure to come back. Final update. Sorry for the bad grammar, guys. I don't feel like fixing it. Hi everyone. Since everything has been wrapped up, and I'm still getting messages and comments, I decided that you guys deserve this update more than anyone. I'm not sure if the people who saw my last post and updates will remember, but if they do, I want to thank all of you for your comments, messages, and overall support. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to post this update here, but I will so more of you guys can see this and my appreciation for you. An update on my mother is that she has been fined and sentenced to 2 years of probation and, some time on house arrest. I don't know how she skipped out on jail time, but hey, I'm typing this on my new phone. Looking at my new MacBook that she had to pay for, I also have a restraining order, and if she breaks it in any way, then she'll be in jail. Essentially, she's been ostracized by everyone in our family and is now all alone, the one thing she didn't want. As for my personal update, my health is fine, and the fainting spells were stress and my body getting used to getting so many nutrients I wasn't used to. I have fallen back underweight, but doctors said it's normal, and I've found better supplements and protein shakes that will help me build my strength. I've also accepted a different program from my school, which was a program to go abroad for the summer. I've been in Korea for almost a month now, and I can honestly say I love it here so much. I've made so many new friends and have been partying and exploring like crazy. I miss my family, not my mom, and I'll be back in the States on August 14th, so I can have a week left with my family before I'm sent off to college. The new freedom and experiences I've gained are amazing. I thank all of you for showing me my worth and teaching me that I have a voice and that I should stand up for myself. This will be my last time posting here, but if you want any personal updates, feel free to message me anytime or check my page. I'll be sure to talk all about my college experience. Until next time. College life update. I've been in college for, almost 2 weeks, and all I can say is that I love it. The classes aren't really hard. I've made so many new friends. My family is such a big help, and I've been going out and doing things I never thought were possible. Update. Mourning the loss of someone who's still here. I'm not really sure if this belongs here, but this is definitely the after effects of cutting off an entitled parent. I have a previous post about the whole situation that happened, but now I really have time to really think about her. Since I've been in college, I've had loads of distractions to take my mind off my mom, but now that I'm on Christmas break with nothing to do, It really hit me that this is going to be my first Christmas without my mom. I feel as though I'm grieving or mourning the loss of her, but she's still technically here. I know she isn't a good person, and she was an awful mom, but she was my mom, and that's all I know. I feel like the good moments keep pushing the bad moments away, and it hurts to think that I'll never be with her again. Hearing your friends talk about calling their moms or going to do things with them hurts. And I know I have my dad and grandparents, but it's like there's an empty space inside of me that she'll never fill again. I know I should feel like this, and she doesn't deserve to be mourned, but it's hard when you lose what you've known for your entire life. Sorry if this is not readable. I'm in a rush and needed to tell someone how I felt. Second story. OP regrets divorcing her husband after seeing how he is treating their daughter and his new fiancé. Then made him call off his wedding, confessing her love to her ex-husband, causing ex-Mill and fiancé to lash out on OP. Now, OP is still hesitant to reconsider their relationship. I will try my luck here, and I hope this is a more civil subreddit. I'm sorry this got too long. My ex-husband M40 and I F41 separated 4 years ago. It was I who asked for the divorce, but we had a lot of problems, and we both knew that we weren't compatible anymore. My biggest issue was that he was never there for me, nor was he understanding. It was after our daughter was born F6. He never helped me, and he just went on with life like it was before she was born. Nothing was the same after our daughter was born, of course, and I couldn't reach him. We fought all the time. I was suffering from depression and weight gain, and I felt SHT about myself. It probably wasn't easy to handle either. The divorce was amicable, and he proved all my worries wrong, that he would neglect our daughter since it felt like he was unwilling to adapt to his new role as a father after her birth. But no. I was happy that he proved me wrong, and that he turned out to be a great father to our daughter. But at the same time, I wished he would have stepped up earlier when we were still together. He started seeing his fiancée F31 about 3 years ago. This killed me because I still loved him very much, but I wanted to be happy for him for our daughter's sake, so I pretended I was just that. After a while, he introduced her to my daughter, and she seemed to be nice. She was very good with my daughter and loved her, and my daughter seemed to really like her, so I was at least relieved that she was a good person who cared about my child. I never told anyone about my feelings and regrets, but kept it to myself because it was my own doing. And now I take the responsibility. About 6 months ago, when my ex was dropping off our daughter, he told me that he was engaged. I felt like I wanted to pass out, and I don't even remember how I managed to pull myself together and put on a smile to congratulate him. I cried for weeks afterwards. I didn't even know what I was expecting, but I was devastated. A few weeks later, I met my ex-husband's sister at the grocery store, and she asked me how I felt. I felt my tears welling up, and all she needed to do was hold my hand for me to burst out crying. She asked me if I still loved him, and I tried to act happy for his sake, but she probably wasn't convinced. My ex was a bit changed afterwards, and at first I thought I was imagining things. While we've always been cordial towards each other, he was more chatty now, and he made excuses to stay longer during drop-offs. Even a couple of times, I thought that he made sure to arrive around dinner to ask if he could stay because he was hungry. Then, a few weeks later, the sister showed up at my place with my ex-husband, and she told us that we needed to talk. He said that he never knew that I still loved him, and that he still loved me too. If he knew, he would never have tried to move on. Later, I heard that he ended his engagement. His mother called me even before I knew he had ended his engagement to tell me that I was the all for ruining his happiness. I broke his heart, and now I waited for him to find a good woman who could give him a good future, a better future with more children, to just pick him up again. Also, his fiancée sent me many DMs, calling me an old witch who is using my daughter and his love for her to take him. I'm pathetic and desperate, and he only thinks about our daughter. I feel bad because his ex has been nothing but good to me, and she lost 3 years to him. AITA. I didn't answer the ex-fiancé, and I haven't spoken to him yet. He is asking me out on dates and is talking about counseling, so we don't make the same mistakes again. I feel so guilty. Relevant comments. The commentator asks about ex's mother, and if she had something against OP. OP, I don't think she is. But she and I were never close from the start, and I have heard that she adored his ex-fiancé, which is fair because she is more pleasant and social. I am very hurt, of course, by what she said, and it makes me feel guilty, but I can't be mad at her. That's why I haven't told him yet what she's been saying, because I don't want to create problems between them, and I don't want it to look like I'm egging him on or something. We still don't even know if we are getting back together or not. We have a long way ahead, especially with our daughter between us. We can't get back together unless we both are sure it will work this time so we don't confuse our daughter. She is already too excited about the few times he has been staying for dinner after dropping her off. I don't know. It makes me more worried that if this doesn't work, then I have ruined his relationship for absolutely nothing. And it makes me feel like SHT. But he disagrees and says it isn't for nothing, and it is worth a try. We either get back together, or we move on properly this time. Acanthasatano 9N122. Sorry. But it seems like the OP doesn't know how to communicate at all, while her ex-husband seems so dense. Why did he wait until OP brought up divorce before starting to be a good dad? If he still loves OP, why did he go so far as to propose to another woman? Dating to move on is understandable, but to the point of asking for her hand, that's way too much. OP, I think my attempts to communicate were just heard as nagging towards the end of our marriage. I was diagnosed with depression too, so it didn't help either. Anything I'm not happy with about his behavior is because you are depressed and not happy. I don't think he really understood that his life had changed either. Like he just couldn't book a last-minute skiing trip with the guys because it was cheap and leave me for 3 days. What made me leave was the night when he was out with his brother-in-law and our baby suddenly had a fever, and I couldn't reach him because it was too loud at the bar. It broke me, and I was terrified of the future. In hindsight, maybe I was rash, and if I was in a better mental state, I probably would have tried harder. Update. We spent Christmas together as a family, but we were terrified that we would hurt and confuse our daughter. Hi again. This is kind of an update, I guess. Thank you for all your support. I didn't expect the majority to be on my side. I want to make a little update. My ex-husband has been spending more time with me, often without the knowledge of our daughter, because we don't want to confuse her in case this doesn't work out. I love him so much, so I don't know why I am so terrified. We have also had a couple of therapy sessions together to talk. We will continue with therapy. My husband's sister has been the one taking care of our daughter when we are seeing each other. We go on walks, dinner dates, and therapy. On Christmas, he spent the day with us. There were some problems because he was supposed to celebrate with his parents, my daughter, his sister, and her family. My mother-in-law refused to include me, so he ended up asking me if we could celebrate at my place. My sister-in-law chose to celebrate with us instead. I had my sister and her family too. Our daughter was very happy about this. Since then, he has been staying for dinner a few days a week with our daughter. We are concerned about how to proceed. I am afraid to mess up my daughter. Our plan is for him to move with us, or that we move to a new house together as a fresh start. The only problem is that my husband's ex refuses to leave his apartment, and we are going to need to sell both properties to be able to have one bigger house for a new start. What do you think? Are we hurting our daughter? Anyone here who is or has been in the same situation and can tell me what children think about their parents being together after growing up with them apart? Are we taking it slowly enough? Relevant comments. Professional Chair 28. Info. How old is your daughter? Does she remember a point in her life when y'all were together? Was she aware and knowledgeable when y'all split the first time? OP, she is 6. No, she doesn't remember us being a family. She was 20 months old when her dad and I separated. I made a long and detailed post a few weeks ago about it, but I don't know how to include it here because it gets automatically removed. Alert bid 1T531. If you're both 100% sure you're getting back together and want to stay in your house or get a new house, ask your daughter. Would you like to move to a new house? Would you like daddy to be with us? I see no harm in asking your daughter her feelings about the situation now. I'm not saying to give her your full history, but getting her feelings and thoughts out there and letting her know she can ask anything and all her feelings are valid may also make you and your partner feel a bit better moving forward. But if you both don't know or ask your daughter, you may be going slower than necessary. From my point of view, if you and your partner are both together with your daughter in a happy household, and your daughter is happy when you are both around, don't panic too much. You can always have mama daddy days out, as she is probably used to that from when you were separated. And it would be a fun thing for her to have all the attention of just one parent for the day. I think a new house would be a lovely adventure for you all, sort of. Stamp a new life, make fun plans to travel, and never stop communicating. Have relaxed conversations. Cuddle up about thoughts and feelings. Make sure you are both doing all you can so you both feel validated. This is a second chance. Grab it with both hands. I can imagine there will be drama from his mother and ex. So this is the time when you both need to be strong together and make sure you both work as a team to deal with it together. Good luck. OP. If I asked my daughter, she would be more than thrilled. When her father stays for dinner, she is just so happy. She almost lives with me full time. Now because he rents a room since his ex still refuses to leave his apartment. She has her own apartment, but still wouldn't leave his. I guess we are both terrified of moving forward because we don't want to hurt our daughter. Isn't it manipulative if I ask her if daddy can move in when she knows that I want him to? I don't know. Maybe I am overthinking things, as the therapist said. We do a lot of family activities together now, and she enjoys them very much. I don't know. This whole thing has only been 8 months since he proposed to his ex, and we are still trying to reconcile. Maybe stay like this for a few more months, with a few more therapy sessions. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.